right, we are live, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the first episode of I Said What I Said podcast. And today, the first episode, our guest is Michael the Hurricane. Say what's up, Mike.
What up? You ready to get this started?
You ready for this free agency? We kicked off.
You ready to get this started?
Ready to get this started, Mikey. So, Michael the Hurricane, I saw you live last night, and you was doing your thing. You had your free agency first day broken down, and I was just watching the content, and so doing your research and everything about what y'all was going over yesterday. What is your 3 or 4 biggest takeaways from the start of free agency? What you thinking about?
Well, I feel like the free agency, there's some teams who are going all in. For example, you have the Ravens, right? They add Derrick Henry. So, they're trying to compete. But then you got teams like the New Orleans Saints who didn't sign a soul. You had, lots of moves happen. For example, NFC South rival, the Atlanta Falcons, they picked their quarterback. So I feel like free agency this year, at least, has been a time where a lot of teams compete or are trying to compete. That's just my take.
Yep. The Falcons got the quarterback, and I hate to say it, Mikey. I think the Falcons have the best quarterback in the division now. What do you say about that?
It's either Baker or Kirk. I think I'm still giving it to Baker because people, look, I try not to be biased. Kirk Cousins, so he's coming off of an Achilles tear, and he's 35 years old. So that is a make it or break it deal. Don't get me wrong. I think Kirk is an excellent quarterback. But I think the Falcons gave him the Derek Carr contract, where basically Kirk Cousins, look, I'm not saying he wasn't worth it, but that, in my opinion, was an overpay because you got to hear me out, right? He's 35 years old. That contract will take him until he's almost 40. And he's coming off of a horrible injury. I still think Baker, because Baker is a whole lot younger, and he has the most potential in the NFC South. Now, third and fourth, I think third is Derek Carr and fourth is Bryce Young for now. But, we got to see how every team runs their stuff. I just don't see Kirk. Look, I think Kirk will be, solid, but I think it's going to be between him and Baker. I'm giving the nod to Baker, but we'll have to see. For example, Falcons are already bringing Kirk some weapons over. They just signed Darnell Mooney today. So, Falcons, they're trying to do their part while the Saints sit on their couch doing nothing. We're talking about Avante Maddox and talking about Chase Young. While the Falcons are bringing in real people.
I know, Mikey. I know. And, looking around the league, the first day or two of free agency, it hasn't really started yet. This is what's called the legal tampering period.
Yeah.
They can't really sign yet, so they're just agreeing to deals. And my biggest takeaways, I'm looking at the running backs changing teams.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at Derrick Henry.
Jordan, we got breaking news on the show. I just got breaking news.
Give it to me.
The Miami Dolphins are signing former Buffalo Bills safety Jordan Poyer.
Okay.
That's breaking news for you.
That back end of that defense, don't you think?
Yeah. I like Jordan Poyer. He was one of look, you know what I just noticed? Every team is trying to be the Saints. Every single team is trying to cut everybody to become the Saints. Because they're trying to do what the Saints always do, which is get the money from cutting everybody. And like every single time somebody fails at that, they always say they're trying to beat the Saints. That's what's funny to me. That the Saints actually are good at something. But yeah, doesn't matter though. But, yeah.
Okay, anytime you get some breaking news, Mike, you just break on in here because I
Yeah.
know you got the content. And I know
Yeah,
you
I've
want
been
to break
getting
it.
breaking news all day.
There you go.
For
Even
example,
at
the
school.
Texans just signed Danielle Hunter literally like 10 minutes ago.
Let's talk about what the Eagles are doing, Mikey.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I really like some of the things they're doing. They signed Saquon Barkley. I mean, that was the big get. I think Saquon still got a lot in the tank. Let me tell you why. Saquon had a great year 2 years ago. So then the Giants want to jerk with him, put him on the franchise tag, and I think he was coasting last year, not trying to get hurt, not trying to get overused, so he can get this 3-year deal, this multi-year contract that he's been wanting. So I think watch out this year. I think he's gonna have a great year. Okay, they signed Saquon Barkley. They brought in Devontae Parker, which you're not very high on, but I mean he is a name. He is someone that has potential.
He is a good jump ball receiver. I'll give him that.
Yeah, he can get up, but that consistency, that separation, like you was talking about in our pre-show meeting, he lacks some of that separation. So what else? They signed a couple defensive ends. Bryce Huff, Brandon Graham. Well, Brandon Graham, they extended Brandon Graham,
Zach
but
Bond.
Zach Bond from the Saints.
Because they always have to steal every single player that we have.
I don't know if this is a great hire. They got Matt Hennessy from the
The
Falcons, the
Saints
guard.
signed somebody.
The what?
The Saints just signed Willie Gay.
Willie Gay. Yes. Who is that?
He was somebody from the Chiefs.
Somebody from the Chiefs. Was he like practice squad?
Nah, he was on the team. Hold on, let me pull him up right now.
Yeah, give me those stats, Mikey. In fact, give me the position. I don't even know him.
Willie Gay is a Chiefs. Well, he's a former Chiefs linebacker. Hold on, let me see here. So, if they give me the stats, that's not what I wanted, or maybe it is. Hold on. But yeah, Willie Gay. Obviously just won a couple Super Bowls.
Okay,
No, that's just
good.
giving me his college stuff. Let me put in stats. Sorry about that. All right, Willie Gay. This season, here we go. Had 58 combined tackles, 14 assists, 1 sack, 1 interception for 24 yards.
Wait, say it again.
58 combined tackles, 14 assists, 1 sack, 1 interception for 24 yards.
All right, so he had some production. That's good.
It wasn't just like nobody just roaming on the field for no reason. Like Willie Gay, I feel like, he's definitely a key piece to that Chiefs team. He was drafted there in 2020, had a solid 4 years there. And, Willie Gay, I think he was the one that got into legal issues, I believe, last season. I'm not sure though. He was the one who got into legal trouble. But he's found his way back on the field and he's doing something, like signing with the Saints.
So I guess he's Zach Bond's replacement.
I guess.
So maybe that's a wash. And we signed Demario Davis back.
Yeah.
So
we re-signed Tyrann Mathieu.
Signed Tyrann Mathieu back. So we kind of keeping that core nucleus of the defense together, which is good. We have to get a little younger on the defensive line. I mean, we started last year with Breezy. That was good. Breezy, whatever his name is. But Cam Jordan was very ineffective, to say the least. Talking to him, he says that he's been dealing with a leg injury all year. So maybe we give him a pass on that. But
we'll have to see.
We'll have to see. So
But
what
yeah.
else we got? What do you think about what the Steelers are doing? They look like they're interested in signing Russell Wilson. They got Patrick Queen in the building. What Mike Tomlin's thinking about over there?
Well, look, I don't like the Steelers because of one man. He pissed me off to the point where I don't like the Steelers. But the Steelers, they've been making some sneaky moves. I like Patrick Queen. Obviously from LSU, I actually wanted the Saints to draft Patrick Queen.
Patrick
Instead we
Queen,
took
a beast, man.
instead we took Peyton Turner.
Woo!
We could have got Peyton Turner in the 4th round if we wanted to.
Man, can't stay on the field, Mikey. How many games has he played in his career?
Let me pull that up.
Yeah, pull that up.
Peyton Turner. Okay. Peyton Turner. No, not that. Okay, cool. All right, Peyton Turner in his career. Let me move this over here. Let me go over to games with him. All right, so let's see. Turner. Let's see how much games this Bozo's played. In his career. Let me move that back over here. That's not what I wanted. How about if I just put in games? How about that?
Sounds good to me.
Let me just put in how many. Peyton Turner. All right, let's see. So it says Peyton Turner has played 15 games in his career, and 2 of those games is last year. He played the first game of the season, then he played the last game of the season last year.
What he did all in the middle of the season? Played golf?
I don't know. I know he wasn't on the field. I know that.
Yes, indeed. So, Mikey, what do you think about what the Houston Texans is doing? A trade for Joe Mixon. It was an undisclosed draft pick. I think it came out that did the terms come out on that?
Yeah, it was a 7th.
So it's a 7th round pick for Joe Mixon, a playmaker. So that's why I tell you that if we have a trade, Alvin Kamara, it's not going to be for what you think. It's not going to be for a 1st or 2nd round pick. This is what running backs go for these days. They are devalued players.
Yeah. Like the Texans, for that Joe Mixon trade, that is a steal for Houston. I know everybody keeps saying that he's not a good running back. What are y'all watching? Did y'all see that man running for 5 touchdowns in a single game? Because I did. Did y'all, dude, even before Joe Burrow got there, Joe Mixon was still putting up great numbers. Joe Mixon was still finding his way to the end zone. Like y'all saying that you need to cut this guy, trade that guy. But Joe Mixon, I'm pulling up his numbers right now. He's not a bad running back. No, he's not at his peak anymore. But he rushed for 1,000 yards last season and scored 9 touchdowns. That's better than half the running backs this past season. So, shoot, I think he had more rushing touchdowns than any running back on the Saints team.
I'll take him. Give him to me for a 7th round pick, please.
I would too. But yeah, Joe Mixon is in Pittsburgh or in Houston now. I think that's a steal for the Texans. You give C.J. Stroud another running back to work with. Obviously, your boy Devin Singletary, he signed with the Giants after Saquon left, so he's in New York. And Dameon Pierce, it's still undetermined about him. So you add Joe Mixon, put feet to the fire. I like it at the end of the day. Yeah, I feel like Joe Mixon is probably the most underrated running back in the NFL.
Agreed. So, Mikey, the Saints are 1 quarterback short now. Jameis Winston's going to Cleveland. What do you think about that?
I think Mickey Loomis should be fired into the sun. Why did you? Like, I understand why they let Jameis go. I was not expecting him to come back, but bro, like, I understand you want to give Jake Hanner a shot, but you see, people keep saying, "Why is Jameis on the team? He's not good at football." It's not about how good he is on the football field. It's how good of a locker room guy he is. You see some of these guys, right? They're good players, but their team don't be winning because of locker room issues. Jameis was trying to hype these guys up, but the Saints let him go, and now he's in Cleveland. And I know a Browns fan, so I don't know how he feels about Jameis. But yeah, I think Jameis could be good in Cleveland. I think, if Deshaun Watson doesn't do well or gets hurt, I feel like Jameis, he's not going to win you many games, but if you give him the opportunity, he's going to sling that thing deep. He is not afraid of an interception or two.
That's for sure. Throwing those helicopter passes.
Yeah.
So that means Joe Flacco looking for a new job or retire. I don't know.
He's going to retire.
I would take Joe Flacco right now over Jake Haener.
I wouldn't.
For the backup quarterback, I mean.
The only reason Joe Flacco had a good season, in my opinion, is because he did not have a dumb head coach.
We have Derek Carr. We have Jake Haener. And we have Taysom Hill. I don't know.
Does he even count?
Room right now. I don't feel too good about that, Mikey. Just a hunch. I don't feel too good about that. Help me. Yeah. Give me some optimism. Tell me why I should feel good about that.
You want to know why you should feel good about that?
Yes.
Because you can look at Drew Brees' highlights and forget about the present.
No. This is why we should feel good about that. Because it's going to be a long year, Mikey. We're going to lose enough games to pick very early in next year's NFL draft.
Who's even in the next year's draft?
I don't even know. But whoever it is, we need them.
Oh, amen, brother.
Any quarterback coming out next year, those things are, somebody's gonna rise to the top. But it's like all the great quarterbacks in this draft.
Yeah, I mean, so the Saints quarterback room, gets weaker. I feel like Jake Haener is a twig. So we just have to see.
Yeah, you're right. So what else we got, Mike? You looking at these? What do you think about what the Titans are doing? They got Derrick Henry.
The Titans don't have Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry is anymore.
Derrick Henry's not in Tennessee anymore, Dad.
That's right. Who he signed with?
He signed with the Ravens.
Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. A Derrick Henry in his prime. That's a lethal combination. But I don't know how good Derrick Henry is right now. He's still a monster. He's still big. You can't coach that. But how good is he? I mean, they ran him pretty much in the ground, I think. So,
Derrick Henry, I still feel like is at least the top 2 or top 3 running back in the NFL. Derrick Henry, if there is a running back that I would feel comfortable about carrying your team, it would be Derrick Henry, especially with the Ravens, because he was basically the entire offense of Tennessee. So, Derrick Henry going to Baltimore, I like it. There was talks about him going to Baltimore for a couple years now. finally happened. I think Derrick Henry still got some left in the tank. Now we just got to see, will he perform to the next level? I think he will. I don't think he's regressed yet, but we just got to see, boy.
Yes, sir. So some odds came out for the Super Bowl next year, and our beloved New Orleans Saints. You want to guess what number they came in at?
Plus 150.
Plus 150. No, they're plus 10,000. But I'm talking about like the 20th, 25th. What you think they ranked?
You said plus 10,000. 32.
Close, 27.
I was close enough.
The only one lower in our division was the Panthers, who came in dead last.
No surprise.
But, but the 49ers were first, followed by Kansas City.
Where's Cincinnati at?
I'm just going off my memory. I can't remember. I think they was in the top, 5 or 6.
Mm.
I remember they were up there. But the Saints was number 27. The Panthers were 32nd. And the other two teams were a little bit higher than us. So people don't think we're gonna be good next year, Mikey.
I don't blame them. I don't think we're gonna be good either.
I mean, there's gonna be a lot of sad days on these podcasts.
Yeah.
We're gonna be crying in the middle of the street.
Yeah.
But you know what we got, baby? We have to look forward to this NFL draft. See down here on this ticker right there? NFL draft.
But hey, Dad, I have a question.
What you got?
Do you think McCole Hardman really leaked the Jets playbook?
Yes. I think where there's smoke, there's fire. And he got a little disgruntled with his team. So, yeah. He's like, I'm going to stick it to y'all. Here's our playbook. I think he did that.
But you know the funny thing about that? He leaked it before they played the Eagles, and yet they still won the Eagles game.
Well, the Eagles wasn't very good last year.
But at that time, yes, they were. They're like the only undefeated team in the NFL. And they beat the Eagles, even though the Eagles had their plans. Ain't that some? Jalen Hurts threw 3 interceptions that game.
Yes, indeed.
That was funny. But yeah, this draft will be insane. But you know what I found out? There is actually a more realistic plan for the Saints to get Jaden Daniels than people think.
Really? Tell me this plan.
So look.
Jaden Daniels.
So look, it's probably not going to happen, but look. So let's say the Bears take Caleb Williams and the Commanders take Drake May, and let's say the Patriots take like a receiver like Marvin Harrison or something, right? And they, try to trade or sign a quarterback. Like the 4th pick is the Cardinals. We know they're not taking a quarterback, and if Marvin Harrison's off the board, then the Saints could possibly trade up to there, and then, but even if they don't. At 5 is the Chargers. Hold on. At 5 is the Chargers. They have Justin Herbert. They're not doing the quarterback. So if the Saints trade up to like 4 or 5, we could potentially snag Jaden Daniels, but that depends on what happens. But then again, you got other teams who probably might want to trade up as well. So, we'll just have to see. And plus, free agency ain't done yet, so teams still might figure out who their quarterback will be from all the way to the 14th pick.
Yeah. Whoa. I don't know what I'm doing here. You see me?
Yeah.
Okay, I got something on the screen I can't get rid of, but You see that box on the screen?
No.
Okay, good. Don't worry about it. I see it. You don't. So anyway, we're gonna wrap up the show right now, Mikey. Just wanted to get the first one out there. It was a good informed show.
Yep.
I wrote my notes and I wrote some of it down wrong, but it's okay. We're gonna get better with age. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, Mikey, how can they keep up with you on social media? What you got going on?
So yeah, you can follow me at Hurricane Mike. And then for draft time and when season starts, you can follow me at New Orleans Saints Master Streams. Yes, I named it that because I wanted to. Don't ask. And yeah, that's basically where you can find me. And also, you can also find me over at the Houdat Center at certain times during the off season. Maybe I still got to link up with them. But yeah, that's where you can find me.
All right, sounds good, my boy. We will call that a day. And remember, I said what I said. Who that?
Who that?
Call from Puff Puff.